my goodness, it's so overwhelming. How do I start canning? And how do I preserve my food? Hey guys, welcome to Nana Cochran's Kitchen. I'm glad you're here today because we're gonna take all the fears that you have and worries about canning. We're gonna take them away. We're gonna explain step by step the things that you need if you're gonna start canning. Now, if you don't have everything, you don't have to start this year. You can start slowly collecting stuff. But we're gonna go over canning, freezing, preserving our food, and how I do it. I have been doing it for 35 years. That's how long I've been married. Both my grandmothers taught me how to can and preserve. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is I want us to talk about freezing. Now, this is something that I bought several years ago and I love them. And they're little bag holders, okay? And they can extend up or down. They can even hold gallon-sized bags. These are great. Now, they're on Amazon. I don't know what they're called. I forgot. It's like bag holders or something. But, and it has a little rubber rim around it so that it will hold it from scooting. So y'all, these are really good, especially when you're doing okra or stews or soups or spaghetti or something you need to go in here that's hard to hold open. So make sure you check those out. Those are wonderful. And I think they're just called bag holders, okay? Now, I freeze some things. I don't freeze everything. I will tell you the truth. Silver Queen corn is the best when it's frozen. I have canned it before, and when I canned it, it tastes like canned food, canned corn that you buy at the grocery store, which is okay, but Silver Queen corn is so delicious when it's fresh off the cob. So if you freeze it, it's a lot better. All right, I think that's all we're going to talk about freezing because I don't freeze too many things. Oh, also, when it's getting close to the end of the garden season and I have a lot of tomatoes that I haven't canned, take them and stick them in the bag, a Walmart bag whole, and freeze them whole. You can, during the middle of the winter, you can take them out, or whenever you have time to can spaghetti sauce, you can pull them out during the winter and let them thaw. The skins will pull right off. So that's another thing that I freeze. I freeze tomatoes whole. All right, so now we're gonna go into some explaining about the differences between water bath canning and pressure canning. Okay, now this is a water bath canner. For those of you who don't know, I know plenty of you know, okay? I have 3 of these. It comes with a little rack that you can pick them up when the water's hot and so forth and so on. When you use a water bath canner, it's best to use a water bath canner for high acidic foods, such as fruits, jellies, jams, pickles, and tomatoes. Now, all you rebel canners, don't come after me, okay? Because I'm just telling you that I only use a water bath canner for those things, okay? I only use it for high acidic food because no matter how long you boil the water in this canner, in this water bath canner, it only goes up to 212 degrees, all right? And I don't care if you do it 4 hours, hey, knock yourself out. My husband ain't gonna let me run a stove for 4 hours. I'm not doing that, okay? So I only use this for jams, jellies, apples, fruits, and tomatoes and pickles, okay? That's the only thing I use a water bath canner for. Now, when you have a water bath canner, you can fit 7 jars inside of this, and you need to fill it up, and it needs to be 1 to 2 inches above the jars. You bring it to a full rolling boil, and that's when you start your counting, okay? With your lid on. Once it starts full rolling boil, put your lid on and start your counting, okay? So there's the water bath canner. Now, the difference between the pressure canner and the water bath canner is the pressure canner can reach up to 240 degrees, which will kill the bacteria that causes botulism. All right, so that's what I use mine for. My canner is for everything except my fruits and pickles and tomatoes, okay? That goes in my water bath canner. This is what I use for everything else. So that's all we're gonna talk about right now about our canners. Let's go over and talk about some books that you can buy if you're starting, okay? Okay, I have several books that I use for canning, but this was my first. This is the holy grail of all of my canning books. This is the first one I had when I got married in 1991. This is the first canning book I got. I love it. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. I think we looked last year and we couldn't find it. But it tells you how to do water bath canning for your fruits and for your tomatoes. And it tells you how to do the tomatoes step by step. It shows you how to prepare fruit for canning. And then it has a section back here for your vegetables. Let me find my vegetables here. And here we go. Here's the vegetable section. And it has canning vegetables. And it has step by step for each vegetable. How many pounds of pressure for how many minutes to do quarts and pints. And so I love it. And you're going to say, well, if I can't buy it no more, how come you tell me about it? Well, I will tell you that every year at Walmart, okay, and I was there today, and they have a new one. It's not this one. This was last year's. They have a ball canning and preserving book, okay? And it gives you step-by-step instruction, but it also gives you lots of good recipes to try in here. Very good. So you can get that one. Amazon has a bunch of easy canning books that you want to start with, like Canning for First Timers or Canning 101. They have different kind of books. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites that I got when I wanted to start canning meat. And the first meat I ever canned was beef stew. And I loved it. And it was delicious. Back in, I would say probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, people were kind of hesitant about talking about canning meat. But think about it. In Alaska, they can their salmon. They can their moose. They can their meat because it's got to last them all winter. Even if, because it might take them 2 hours to get to the store. So they have to. So there's nothing wrong. As long as you're using a pressure cooker to cook your meat, there's nothing wrong with canning meat, okay? And so I love this one. This one was on Amazon too. I love it. It's got some good recipes. Spaghetti sauce, stew beef. It's got sausage and bean soup, lentil sausage casserole, pumpkin with white beans and bacon, Bloody Mary mix, tomato chutney. It's got bukus, and it's a very good book, and I know you can find it on Amazon. The most recent one I got off Amazon was the Homestead Canning Cookbook. I love this one too. It's got a lot of recipes. Now, one thing that I'm going to start doing when I bought this book, I bought me a fermenting crock, okay? And I'm excited. It's the next time I get 5 pounds of cabbage, I'm going to make me some chow chow, and I'm going to make me some sauerkraut. So this is a fermenting crock, and it comes with a wooden dowel to push your vegetables down as they're you need them under the liquid. And it also comes with 2 heavy weights. Let me see if I can get them out. Okay, it comes with 2 heavy weights so that while the cabbage is in there, you can set it on top and it'll hold it under the water, okay? So those are, I like that. Now, you can also do pickles in here, but this year, I wanted to do bread and butter pickles instead of the crispy dill pickles. So I will be using this for my chow chow and my sauerkraut, okay? So we'll hopefully make a video about that. Okay, now we're going to talk about just some essentials that you'll need when you start your canning. Like we talked about, you need a pressure canner or a water bath canner, whichever one you're choosing to do. They also have these sets at Walmart. You can get these, and it has the jar grippers in it, okay? And what that does is, when it's hot, you can be able to pick it up out of the hot water and set it down, okay? I call them the jar getters, jar grippers, whatever they're called. Also in this set will come a funnel. Now I have a couple of plastic ones, but my mom bought me this antique one that I love, love, love. But there is plastic ones that come in this set, and that's just for you to set and then fill your jars up, okay? So it has that in that set also, and it has the debubbler tool. Now, the debubbler tool is when you pack something in here very tight, like I'm fixing to do green beans. Once you pack them in there very, very, very tight, and then you pour the water in there, you want to go along the edge of the bowl and get the air bubbles out, okay? Because you want, number one, to have enough liquid. Number two, you don't want a lot of air bubbles, and then it heats up and, you know, pops. But it's, you know, it's important to go ahead and get all the air bubbles out, okay? All right, now, jars. I have, you can go buy, I don't know if it comes in sets of 3, 6, 12, 18. I don't know how big the packs come today. It's been a long time since I had to buy, okay, jars. But this is a regular mouth jar, and this is a quart jar. And here is a wide mouth jar. I want you to look at the difference, okay? The wide mouth jar is for things that are hard to scoot in there. Like I used to do big squash cut up in there, or potatoes, or big things that are my chicken. When I can my chicken, I put it in there. Sometimes I run out and have to use that, and it's a sight to see. But the wide mouth jars are for your pickles, or for something that's gonna be hard to stick your hand in there to put it in there. All right, also I buy, okay, these are the lids. This is regular mouth. Make sure you read it well when you buy it. And this is the wide mouth. And what you're gonna do is in the, let's say you get ready, okay, and you have, here is your small, your regular mouth ring. You drop your lid in there. See the rubber? That's the part that's gonna seal. All right, and when you're canning, okay, fingertip tight means you just twist it one time and that's it. And then after it pressure cooks, this is gonna seal. And when it seals and after everything's cooled completely, I go ahead and take my ring off, and this will stay. And the reason why is because if you leave the rings on there sometimes, it's a false seal and you don't know it till it starts bubbling ooey stuff out of there. So this is the regular mouth lid, and here is the wide mouth jar ring, and we'll show you what it's like when you put a lid in there. Okay, see, there's the large mouth, and you can tell it's a lot bigger than the regular mouth, and that's how that fits on there. Okay, so like I said, when you buy a whole set in a box, it'll already have the lids on there. But if you're like me and you have 500 gazillion jars, then you just have to buy the lids mostly, because I already have rings left over from years and years. Now, one thing to know about when you're canning your jars, it may say fill up with liquid to 1 inch headspace. All right, and you don't need to stick a measuring tool in there. If you'll look, it has little grooves here and here where you twist the lid on. This first rim, okay, is 1 inch headspace. So that means that there's 1 inch of room, okay, between there and there. And then this second one is about ½ inch headspace. So it's pretty easy to tell. You don't want anything touching your lids, but it'll tell you either 1 inch headspace or ½ inch headspace. Also, we talked about the big quart jars. Now we're going to talk about pints. Now the pints are good for anything you want to cook. Tomato sauce, I make tomato soup with this and can them in my little pint jars. Perfect for work. You can also use it for your vegetables and your fruits, and it takes a regular mouth lid. Now it will hold, this is a pint, so it'll hold 12 ounces or more, a little bit more than 12 ounces. And then this is a jelly jar, and it will hold about 8 ounces. All right, so you basically use that for applesauce, jellies, preserves. They also make even smaller ones for jellies, but I like this size for the jellies. I hope this helps you a little bit with your canning questions. If you have any canning questions, you can try to comment them below, and I'll try to get back with you as fast as I can. I'm really busy in the garden, but if you send me a question, I will try my best to answer it. So I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and Nana loves you.